So much. Meanwhile, millions taken to the streets for those No Kings rallies over the weekend happened all across the country. They were protesting President Trump's policies and the war in Iran as well. Organizers, they framed the president's actions as political overreach. Protesters, they were waving the Iranian and even communist flags at times while calling Trump a dictator in the very same breath. It's been reported more than 8 million people participated, including Democrat lawmakers. Florida Congressman Randy Fine is joining us this morning. Randy, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thanks for having me.
So Democrat Senator Mazie Hirono, she posted this on X over the weekend. Donald Trump is not, never will be, and never has been a king. What's the point of these protests?
I don't know. And actually, I don't agree with Democrats on much, but that's one thing I do agree with. He's not a king, and he doesn't act like a king and doesn't behave like a king. None of his policies are that of a king. So I don't really get it. Look, Democrats are delusional at this point, trying to distract from the fact that they don't care about what happens to America. We are seeing a Democratic Party that's obsessed with Somali pirates, Muslim terrorists, and illegal immigrants. And so I guess trying to say that Donald Trump cares about America must make him a king. But when you're waving the flag of the Iranian regime or Muslim terrorists, as we saw as well, or communist flags, I think you're the one that's in favor of kings.
It really was troubling when you glanced out across the sea of people to see those flags flying. I'll get you on that in a minute. But Senator Bernie Sanders, he was at the No Kings rally, this one in Minnesota, calling for an end to the war. Listen to this.
And we are being lied to today about the war in Iran. He campaigned as a peace candidate, and he promised no more forever wars. He lied.
All right, Congressman, the president, as you know, he posted on Truth Social this morning. I believe our control room can pull that up once again to dust off everyone's memory. But he said if a deal is not reached shortly, we will conclude our lovely stay by blowing up and completely obliterating all of their electric generating plants, which, as you know, cost billions of dollars each of them. Emphasis, on this short stay. It's been 4 weeks. Congressman, is this a forever war? Does it feel like that to you?
Well, I think Bernie Sanders is an idiot. And so to say that a conflict that has been very focused on certain goals, that has only been, as you pointed out, 4 weeks, has not involved a single boots on the ground, to call that a forever war is just simply wrong. And so I think that concern about a foreign war is reasonable, but the president is concerned about it being a forever war as well. I think that the purpose here is to make sure that the Iranian regime can never have a nuclear weapon that they can deliver to the United States. Now, Bernie Sanders may be okay with America being nuked. He doesn't seem to care about America in general, but I certainly don't want Iran to get a nuke, and I don't think the president does either.
Meanwhile, Hollywood actors were out in force this weekend. Robert De Niro, he shared this clip.
And for some time now, I start every morning depressed about the latest outrage from our would-be king. I mean, it's amazing. Every day, there's something new and crazy. But it's different on this day because all over the country, in cities and towns and factories and on farms, north, south, east, west, millions of us are coming together to declare no kings. It is indeed a beautiful, hopeful day in the United States of America.
I'm curious, where is the outrage when 30 to some, human rights organizations have estimated 50,000 Iranian protesters were killed, slaughtered for stepping out and doing what they are doing this weekend? They had the freedom to carry whatever flag they wanted. And when you look through the sea of people, they were literally carrying communist flags. I'm just curious, do they realize that they wouldn't be able to protest like they're protesting right now this past weekend in the country that they're advocating for?
Look, I think you're dealing with a group of people who live in a delusion and are simply stupid as well. I mean, I think that is part of the issue that we're dealing with, and it's a challenge. And I think all we can do is speak the truth and speak up for President Trump and continue to fight for what's right. But we're not operating as kings, and I don't know why they say that we are.
Very quickly before I let you go, sir, your thoughts on this stalemate in Washington over the DHS funding. Where does it stand and how does it end? Is there an off-ramp at this point?
Well, hopefully today the Senate will meet and they will have the opportunity to pass by unanimous consent the bill that we passed on Friday that would fully fund the Department of Homeland Security. For whatever reason, the Senate last week wanted to permanently close part of the Department of Homeland Security dealing with human sex trafficking of children. The Democrats like to talk a good game about the Epstein files, but when it comes to stopping human trafficking, they seem to be all for it. So today they have a chance to prove that human sex trafficking is not a good idea by fully funding the Department of Homeland Security so those officers can get back to work, making sure the kids are not abused.
Congressman, when you see your fellow lawmakers headed home, headed out on spring break vacation, taking first-class trips around the country, and our TSA workers are not being paid, well, thanks to President Trump, they are now. But up until now, there's been real struggle, and 500 of them have walked off the job because they couldn't pay their bills. Your thoughts? Does these two pieces of legislation that would prevent this from happening in the future, do those need to be passed?
They do, and it bothers me. Look, I flew home on Saturday after being in Washington for 2 weeks. I'd note I went through regular TSA. I even got the special pat down, so I was just like everybody else. But it's not okay that members of Congress are being paid while our government workers aren't. And so that's why I've asked the government not to pay me. And I think every member of Congress should do the same. This is disgusting, the behavior of the Democrats to simply say, we will not fund human sex trafficking investigations. If you want to deport criminals, it's disgusting. And I think we've got to do something about it. And I'm going to continue to stay the course and be very focused on bringing that issue to light.
Finally, to Iran very quickly. Certainly the propaganda war is, ongoing here. State media, Iranian state media, shared an AI-generated video blowing up, showing a missile blowing up the Statue of Liberty. The message, quote, one vengeance for all, as it flashes up on your screen right there. There are warnings that there are sleeper cells here in the homeland. What are you saying to your constituents? How real is the threat?
Well, the threat is real. I mean, we learned in the last week that Iran had the ability to fire missiles twice as far as we had been told. Now, they can't reach the United States, but they can get a good long way. The reason we're engaged in this conflict is to keep them from doing what they are trying to do in that video. They have stated that is their goal, to nuke the United States. And while Democrats may be fine getting nuked, I'm not. And so that is why what President Trump is doing is so important. When they tell you they want to kill us, we should believe them.
Representative Randy Fine, sir, thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.